But I think he was so hurt by what had happened with another company that I don't think he wanted to believe. I mean, I don't mean this in a weird way either, guys, but I think he fell in love with it. I think he loved the idea, how we're straightforward, we're very transparent, all those things. Love that we have somebody that understands how to run a business, understands the energy model, and somebody that's had some success in this industry. But I don't think he wanted to believe. I just think he was going, I don't want to dream again and get let down and have that dream taken away.
Right.
We loved you too.
But that didn't last long. Because I think he went home and you guys discussed it, and then it was game on. These people are studs.
Still dreaming.
Yes.
Danny and Crystal Piper.
Woo! Okay.
It's on.
All right. I got to tell you guys something. We have got the best looking female national directors out there. What do you guys think, man?
Oh, yeah.
You know, a guy told me yesterday, he says, Dan, you're probably the greatest salesperson I've ever seen. And I'm like, really? He said, because anybody that looks like you, marry her, you got to be good. I don't know what to say to that. So guys, I'm excited tonight because, this is like a dream come true.
It is,
Hold my
buddy.
son whenever you go.
Do it.
Take your time, buddy.
Was James Longer awesome today?
Yeah, he was.
Yes.
Oh, love that guy. And it's funny because he tells a story how him and his wife were praying.
You got it, brother. You got it.
God's good.
Man.
Because I prayed that prayer beforehand, he connected us. Right? That's how it works. See, when I came into CCM and went into the office that day, I'll be honest with you, I didn't want an upline. I didn't want somebody screwing it up. I've been there. It's no fun. So I sat down with Doug and Bill and I said, listen, can you guys just sponsor me direct? Seriously, that's what I want. Can you just sponsor me direct? And Bill and Doug said, no. We made a commitment to the people of this company. We're going to stick to it. We will not compete against them. Anybody that comes in this company has to go underneath somebody else. So I said, well, I don't know a ton of people that are, I don't know anybody really in the company. And I had met Mike and Stacy before, but I just didn't put two and two together, you know what I mean? I just didn't know. So when he starts, thank you. So when he started talking about this and he showed me their picture, I said, I'm going underneath those guys. He said, well, we love those guys, but why those guys? I said, because they go to my church.
I love
they believe
it.
and I believe they'd probably do what I did, and that's why we chose those guys.
I love
right?
it.
And it's been a great decision because these guys are amazing. They are amazing.
Amen.
So what I wanted to do tonight is I prepared two speeches. I just want to get a feel for my audience. Who am I speaking with today? Right? What could this company become?
Yep.
So the first speech this is just kind of like a little feel-good speech. I call it the fluff speech, right? Just a bunch of hype, like you hear every place else. And then the second speech is I'm going to tell you like it is and what it takes to do it in record time. What do you want to hear?
Number two.
You want to hear the tell it like it is speech?
Yes.
Well, I was hoping you were going to say that because I didn't know how to deliver that one there.
It's blank.
I love people that have tasted success. Just got a little sniff of it here and there. There's nothing like it because in society today, we are filled with people that just got a little bit of success. And you can always recognize them. You always know who they are because they smell an opportunity. And when you show it to them, man, they come out swinging, you know what I mean? They just come out and they're ready to fight. Then there's that other group that somehow over the years they just become tame, right? Remind me of the story of this old grizzly bear. See, this little grizzly bear, he was taken from his mama at a very young age. He was put into a cage in a traveling circus. And the cage that he was in, it was 8 foot wide and 12 foot long. And every day he would walk 12 foot this way, head bobbing back and forth. And he thought to himself, there's got to be a way out. And he'd turn around and he'd go back 12 foot this way. And he would stop and turn around and go 12 foot back this way. And this went on for days and then months and then years, and he got older and bigger and bigger and stronger. He never stopped. Then finally, this philanthropist is going through this circus, and he's seen how people were mean to it at times. They flick cigarette butts at it sometimes. Sometimes they throw shards of glass at it to try to get it to break its stride, try to get it angry. And just got used to it. So when this philanthropist seen what was going on, he said, you know, this bear reminds me of myself. It reminds me of my very own life. He said, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy that bear, and money's no object. We're going to take that bear to freedom. We're going to find the best zoo in the world that's closest to his natural habitat, and we're going to make sure that bear has a great life. And then the day came, they backed the trailers up into the zoo. They set the tailgate down, and the bear climbed out. Something amazing happened. You see, this bear had stood up on its back legs, and its legs folded, and for the first time, he could smell fresh air. He could look around and he'd seen the grass blowing, the wind blowing through the tall grass and through the trees. He heard birds chirping for the first time. Off in the distance was the waterfalls. He could hear it filled with fresh fish. The bear went back down on all fours. And he walked 12 foot this way. Stopped. And he went back 12 foot this way. And he stopped. And would you believe that bear lived the rest of its life in that same 12-foot spot? You see, the physical bars were gone, but the physical bars remained. And that's how people are today. That's how people are today. You see them every day. It's a tragedy in our country today that in the land of milk and honey in which we all remain, people are so docile and afraid to go do something. If you find somebody with a big dream today, it's astonishing because their big dream is they want the big corner cage if everything goes perfect. And if they're real big dreamers, then someday they can make it on the top floor in the golden cage. But it's still a cage. See, people want to seek out freedom today is what they want. And people say all the time, they say, you know, damn, money doesn't make you happy. And I say, you know what, being broke sure as hell doesn't either. What's the point?
Right. Right.
Does that make sense?
No.
Right? So what we've got to do today is, guys, we've got to learn to grow big teams. We've got to have big teams. We've got to figure out a way to build big teams. That's what this company was founded on, was leverage. It's not about recruit. It's about build something that will pay you for long durations of time for doing the work one time. See, I have an advantage on some of you. In 2005, I won the Trim Spa $1 Million Makeover Challenge. And there's only one reason I really won when it was all summed up. See, what I learned that most of you guys haven't learned yet is that I didn't know what my odds were. You see, 60,000 people had entered into that competition. 60,000! See, I would have never competed if I'd have known there was 60,000. I don't listen to everybody else when they told me, you can't do that. You can't win. Do you know what your odds are? So here's a test. I want to see who's ready, right? Here's a test for you. If 60,000 people entered and I won, what were my odds? Come on.
60,000 to 1.
How many people say 1 in 60,000? Raise your hand. You're wrong. My odds were 100%. I won.
Right.
See, that's why smart people tend to not build huge companies today anymore. Because here's the catch. They focus all their time on probability instead of possibility.
Right.
Probability. Who cares about probability? You know, every great book, every great story, every great movie has to do with somebody who basically defies all the odds. They step out of leap of faith. Everybody tells them they can't do it, and they push through, and they win. And we're all mystified. But it happens every day. See, there's something inside of me, man, I've got to win. It hurts inside. It's like a burn inside. I lay in bed at night, and there's a wall about 8 or 10 feet from the side of my bed, and I cast my dreams on that wall every night. And it makes me want to get up in the morning and do it again. You know, we spend this time, have weekly meetings, and people don't show up. So I went national pretty quick. And I won't mention any names. I had this kid in my business, and he says to me, he said, Dan, how long did it take you to go national? And I told him. And he says, kind of like Mike said earlier today, wow, you got lucky. Wow. You know, they don't see the pain. They don't see the frustration at times. They don't see all the times I slept with my forehead on the steering wheel because I had to get home to another appointment the next morning. You don't have time for a hotel room. All the people you talk to, all the endless weekends, all the hours, all the driving, 60-some thousand miles on my vehicle in 5 months. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But you've got to pay the price. Everything's about paying the price. People who win pay the price. And they talk about how good it feels to win. There's nothing like winning. Nothing feels as good as winning. You know, winning in your life, winning with your finances, winning with your family, winning. Get you freedom. It's freedom. You know, what's freedom worth to people today? A lot of people don't understand what business we're in today. I really believe that. They have no clue what business we're in. If you ask some people today, you say, listen, what do you do? They would tell you that we're in the electric or gas business, or maybe cell phone, internet, TV, maybe essential services business. That's what they would tell you they did. But you'll begin to identify that we're not in any of those businesses, really. You see, we're in the people business. We build people for a living, right?
Right.
Isn't that what we do? Where's our guys in Louisville at, right? I got this group in Louisville. Stand up, all of you. 8 regional managers come out of Louisville, Kentucky. 8 of them. Woo! Ain't that amazing? And you know what? There's no electricity or natural gas there.
Wow, that's awesome.
Woo! What they learned? You know why they're building so fast? You know why they got so many people on their team? Because they're in the people business. Everybody wants to say, well, when it gets where I'm at, give me a call.
Yeah.
You missed it.
Yep.
I'm not calling you when it gets there. I'm not looking for people when it gets there. I'm looking for people today, right? We got to get boots on the ground today. And you got to pay the price. I want to share this story with you. And this story, I shared it before. It made a big difference in my life when I heard this story. This story was originally told by a gentleman who was one of my favorite authors. His name's Og Mandino. Anybody read any of his books? Mm-hmm. Amazing author, man, amazing. He's changed my life in a lot of different ways. But he told this story of this man who lived in Germany. He had 15 children. He worked 3 jobs just to put food on the table. 2 of his boys were pretty sharp. These 2 boys had a dream. They would lay in bed at night, like many children did back then in the 1500s, and they shared a bed, and they would dream of what it would be like to go to the Art Academy in Nuremberg. And they would think about how powerful it would be if they could just spend all their time doing the things that they loved. But you see, they knew that there was no way they could ask Daddy for the money. It just didn't have it. So one day these guys, they devised a plan. It was a pretty cunning plan, but it was a simple plan that they would take a quarter and they would flip a quarter. And the one that lost would go work in the mines.
Take your time, buddy.
And the winner would go to the Art Academy from the proceeds of the other brother who worked in the mines. When the day came, they flipped the coin. Their names were very similar. Albert Durr lost the toss. Albrecht Durr won the toss. Albert went to the mines. Albrecht Durr went to the Art Academy in Nuremberg. After his first quarter, he was almost an instant sensation. Everybody was fascinated and astonished by his expertise. By the end of year 1, everybody knew him and his talent had surpassed his professors. After 4 years, he come home. Whole family in the back lawn. Food piled high on the table. It was a huge celebration. At the appropriate moment, he stood up to give a toast to his beloved brother who had paid such a price. And he turned to him and he said, "My dear brother Albert, the price that you have paid, now it's your turn. And I will go into the mines and work for you." Albert sat there motionless with his head buried in his hands. As he stood up, he wiped the tears from his cheeks and he said, "It's too late for me. You see these hands? I have crushed every finger at least once. The arthritis in my right hand is so bad I can't even pick up a wine glass to return your beautiful toast, let alone a brush or sculpture. It's too late for me. And yet to this day, I'll bet you that you would recognize none of Albrecht Durer's paintings except for one. They hang in all the great museums around the world, but you'll only know one. He painted a picture of his brother's hands. It was originally called the hands, but over the years they were referred to as the praying hands.
Right.
So the next time you see that painting, let it remind you that nobody makes it alone. We've got to build teams. My mother's in front aisle today, here today.
Woo!
And
Good one.
my mother's my Albert Durr. She paid the price. My wife, I would be her Albert Durr. My kids, I will win for them. Because I never want them to have to suffer. You know, what does it take to get people to move? Do something. Win. We've got to build something major, massive. Doug and Bill did their part. They put together the most incredible compensation plan and structure. And I come to this company and I'm fascinated by how small it is. But that's why I'm here. See, the company that I used to be at, I thought it was fantastic, but I learned something. I missed it. There was 165,000 people in the business, and I worked so hard for so long, I couldn't catch those guys at the top. I couldn't catch them. We got in too late. But you guys are here at the beginning, and half of you have no clue what you got your hands on. You have no clue, because if you did, the numbers would be coming in daily, the bills that would be gathered. You've got an opportunity over the next 3 to 5 years to leave a legacy. What does it take? What does it take? I just want to tell you something, and I'll end on this. People, you're encouraged to quit today in society. We got so many people in the wagon today. We got more people in the wagon than pushing the wagon.
That's right.
But true leaders get out of the wagon and they push. They make it happen. To be a leader today in society, you can't quit. It will be tough. It is going to be hard. It will challenge you. You will have psychological battles all the time. But you can win here. It's amazing what they put together. I'll promise you one thing. We won't quit. You might quit, some of you. We won't quit. I know John and his wife won't quit. I know Mike and Stacy won't quit, because I know James won't quit. I can look around the room and pick out all these people. I'll tell you right now, they won't quit, because a true team doesn't let people down. The moment you sign up one person, you're not allowed to quit as far as I'm concerned. How do you sign somebody up and then quit on them?
Right.
Crazy. But we want to tell you, we want to thank everybody. I look around today, I love my team, boys. I'll tell you something. I love my team. We got an amazing team of people. I look around the room and I love these guys. You know, some of my best friends in the whole world are on my team. I spend the most time with them. They're amazing people. And we want you to win. We want you to win. We want to see you win. We want to see we want you to do what it takes to win. And let me tell you something, we can't do it for you. If we could, we would have. You know, as an upline today, people think that you're supposed to do it for you. No, you're not. I can't do nothing for anybody. The only thing we can do is come along beside of you, assist, and help push periodically, right? That's all we got to help. Well, that's all we got the ability to do. You've got to get the job done. Take your index finger, you put it in your center of your chest, you say it's up to me. The team is the support structure. We're here to prop you up, push you up, but you got to go get the work done. I love you guys. I love this company. God bless all of you. Thank you.
Woo!